Hello there and welcome back to Brew Report, where this week I'm trying St. Peter's Gatekeeper Golden Ale. By the end of this video you'll know how this beer looks, how it smells, how it tastes, and most importantly, whether it's a good beer for you. Let's get cracking. Well, the first thing you're going to notice about this beer is, well, the bottle. You will possibly have seen these bottles. They're pretty distinctive when you see them on the shelves. This sort of oval, slightly flattened shape that makes it feel a little bit like we're at a Victorian apothecary. The shape of the bottle is actually trademarked to St. Peter's Brewery, so you shouldn't expect to see it anywhere else. But if you are planning a homebrew session, it's quite nice to stock up on a few of these just so you've got some slightly more interesting bottles to choose from. Just looking at the rest of the label, we can see here that it's hopped with Challenger and Golding hops. It's 4.7% alcohol by volume, but unfortunately it is not suitable for vegans or celiacs. It contains gluten and the findings include isinglass. For the rest of us, let's see what's inside. Now, if you ask me, that is pretty much the platonic ideal of what a beer should look like. It's got a loose, frothy white head. It's got a sort of dark gold, almost amber, very bright, clear body, and just a touch of effervescence to let you know that this is indeed, something that's been fermented. It smells pretty fabulously malty. There's a lot of sort of toasted malt in there. There's a lot of biscuit, but a little bit of sweetness as well. Some apple, some caramel, maybe a touch of toffee, helping to balance it out a little bit. So really appealing aroma so far. Let's see how it tastes. What's interesting is this beer starts sweet. We start with that appley note and that caramel, that toffee apple note. It's only once it sort of starts to warm up in the mouth and starts to, you start to get some of that effervescence on the tongue, that you really pick up more of the malty flavors, that biscuit malt, more of that caramel admittedly, but more of that biscuit malt, more of that toastiness. Then you start to pick up some of the bitterness in there as well, which gives it a slight sort of lemon pith, orange pith note in there as well. It takes you on a bit of a journey without being overly flavoured one way or another. The mouthfeel is fairly smooth. It's not overly heavy, but it's also not terribly light. It's just a really nicely balanced, traditional English ale. So how are we feeling about this beer in terms of value? Well, in terms of quality, I'd say it's very good. It's a strong example of quite a traditional British ale, a traditional bitter beer. I bought this for £1.50 for a 500ml bottle from Waitrose. It's also available directly from the brewer. If you buy a 12-pack, you'll pay £24.50, making it slightly more expensive than buying from the supermarket. But of course, every penny of that goes to supporting the brewer, so do consider doing that if you can. Certainly, if you're paying supermarket prices, £1.50 for this quality beer, I feel like I'm getting a very good deal. I'm quite impressed with that. So who is this beer for? Clearly, it's a real ale. It's a proper, traditional British beer. This is going to appeal to those slightly more traditional drinkers, the camera members, the hardcore ale drinkers. Thing is, if you're one of those people, chances are you don't need me to tell you about this beer. You've seen it, you've tried it, you enjoyed it already. For those people who don't really know their bitters, who are perhaps coming at this from a newbie, people who are new to beer entirely, or people who are sort of coming at it from a slightly more modern craft beer angle, this is an interesting one. I'd say it's quite accessible in that it's got that toffee apple sweetness along with the bitterness there. It's got that slight level of fruitiness to it, which is really quite pleasant. So definitely worth a go. And if you're spending £1.50 a bottle, you can't really go too far wrong. But that's about enough from me. What I want to hear now is, what did you think? Have you tried this beer, or have you tried some of St. Peter's ales more generally? Which is your favourite? Which should I try next? Whatever your thoughts, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, check out the rest of these videos, and of course you can find fresh content every week at brewreport.co.uk. And until next time, happy drinking.